So this idea was kind of kicking around in my head, and I was like, fuck it, I want to do this as a full-ass story. And as you can see from the title, it's a Gravity Falls versus Predator story. Yeah, I've been kind of thinking about doing this. I know I've done like Alien versus Predator versus Gravity Falls at some point. I think I did, but I never. But this was an idea that was really kicking in my head, and with Predator Badlands and us being like 2 weeks away from, yeah, literally like less than 2 weeks away from Predator Killer of Killers, this was kind of really boiling in my brain for a while. So here we go. So this Predator versus Gravity Falls story takes place not with the Pines twins. This is not Dipper and Mabel. They're away for right now. They're away, like they're back in California. This story is solely on the Corduroy family, and it is a hot, just disgusting August. And high school's back. And Wendy and her friends are back at high school. And Wendy, however, this is like right after, the events of Gravity Falls. And she's still like, holy shit, that all happened. I was even turned into a fucking piece of cloth. I was turned into a banner for a bit. Like, what the fuck was that all about? So basically in here, she's basically of the mindset of a lot of crazy shit happens, and I can take anything, of whatever the world happens, whatever happens in the world next, I'm Wendy motherfucking Corduroy, bring it on. Well, the universe basically said, I bet, and a ship has come down, and has come down to Gravity Falls, and it's gone out into the wilderness, and this Yautja just climbs out, and it's a veteran Yautja. Like, this one has battle scars of and also carries skulls and whatnot. He should be an elder, but he's kind of on a mission, and he's ended up in Gravity Falls to hunt the mystical creatures of the town. So the Predator comes across one of the Manitors, battles it, and proceeds to rip its skull out and hang it on in its ship. So, the Manitors, of course, hear about this, and it's like, oh man, our bro didn't die manly enough. Whoever did this is gonna pay. I swear. And then 3 lights show up on his head, and his head explodes. So the whole Manitor tribe that found the body get instantly slaughtered by the Predator. And the Predator, mockingly goes, not man enough, and just rips the guy's head straight out of his just the socket of it, the neck, straight out from the neck. Anyway, so the Manitors are a little panicked. And it's not just them, the Gnomes and other creatures that have existed in Gravity Falls are kind of learning about this ghost slasher that's going around killing their kind. So they're like, what the fuck do we do? So the best option, really, is to go to the Pines family. Well, Stan and Ford are out in the world, and Dipper and Mabel are back in California, but no one knows that. So they go to the Mystery Shack, and Seuss is there with his girlfriend, and they knock on the Gnomes knock on the door, and they're like, hey, so can you bring the Pines twins out here? And they're like, oh, dude, we got some things to talk about. So Seuss calls Wendy. He's like, hey, so the Gnomes are here, and they're asking about the twins, about some ghost slasher or something. So Wendy goes and is like, hey, so the Pines aren't here. The Pines are out in the world, so whatever it is, we can't help you. Well, maybe, and then they're like, well, there's some monster ghost guy going around killing our people and ripping their spines out and skinning them alive. And Wendy's like, that's kind of metal. Okay, let me see what it is. And in her head, Wendy's like, what the fuck am I doing? I don't know what I'm not Dipper. I don't know what this is. I don't understand what's going on. I don't know how to examine anything. I'm not like Ford, but they need help, so I'll go. So she goes and sees, the Manitors just kind of, strung up, and they're skinned, and their heads are gone. But Wendy's, looking at him and was like, yep, that's dead. And they're like, and she asks, is there any ant monster that would do this? And they're like, the Gnomes are like, There is not a fucking monster in a 100-mile radius of Gravity Falls that would do something like that. Like, that is just sheer unkempt fucking brutality. Like, I don't know what to tell you, my dudette. That is beyond disgusting. So, but what no one knows is that the Predator's like watching and looks at Wendy directly, and as Wendy's like, well, like she's still like trying to prove that she can do this on her own. It's like, well, don't worry about it, or I'll figure out what your monster is and kick its ass. Or my name isn't Wendy Corduroy. And the Predator's like, Corduroy, and like he whispers it, and Wendy's like, fuck was that? So Wendy goes back to Seuss and is like, hey, so can we get? So I need to get in contact with Ford or Stan. Can you like call them? You have their number? And Seuss is like, oh, dude, I always have Stan's number. I always like to talk to him at night, even when he says things like, why'd you get my number? Why do you keep calling me? I'm going to block this number. We have great times. So Seuss hands Wendy the phone. Stan like answers like, Seuss, I swear to God. It's like, hey, Stan, it's me, Wendy. It's like, oh, cool, whatever. So what do you want? And she's like, can you put Ford on the phone? And he's like, sure. He's dealing with some dimensional crap, handling some dimensional ball energy thing. I don't know. Here, he's holding the phone for Ford, and Wendy like tells him like, hey, so the journals are gone. So I don't know what this is, and maybe you've seen it, but like, there's been this monster going around killing. This invisible monster going around killing people, like all the magical creatures in Gravity Falls. Can you have you heard of something like that? And he's like, I have heard of something before. In my travels, I've heard about a race of aliens that were hunters. I never encountered them myself, but I've heard of like reports like way back in the 1980s. 1990s, like they keep coming when the planet gets hotter, and and they're trophy hunters. So, so maybe that's what they're after. She's like, yeah, they were really. It was really going after the Manitors, and he's like, yeah. He's like, Wendy, so you got to listen real fast. You need to play this one close. These guys, the Yautjas, they're called. These predators, they'll kill you. Like, they will straight up murder you and not murder you well. So Wendy's like, okay, I can handle this. Seuss and I have got this under control, and if need be, we'll get, Pacifica in on it, or Gideon, and Ford's like, did you not hear me? These things will fucking end you if they see you as, like, worthy prey. Like, they will just fucking destroy you and kill you, and, like, depending on what kind of tribe it is, they'll fucking kill your whole family. So Wendy's like, it's still got that bravado. So she like goes back home and is like gathering equipment to like try to hunt them. And she also calls Dipper and tells about the whole thing. Is like, hey, so I talked to your uncles, and they're like, this predator is out there, so I'm gonna go kick its ass. And and Dipper's like, hey, maybe not. Like, maybe just let this one go and let this thing run its course. And she's like, no, I've got this. I can totally handle it. And while Wendy's, like, talking, she notices out the bedroom window, like, this shimmer of something. She, like, runs out, and leaves the phone behind. So Dipper doesn't know what's going on, so he's freaking out at this point. And Wendy runs back out. The Predator's just kind of watching her, like, invisible. He's like, over here. And he's whispering, like, be a man, and like all the stuff the Manitors like said, fight like a man, die like one, and he's whispering all around. And then that's when Wendy's like all confused. She's holding her axe, and that's when her dad grabs her and like is like, get the fuck back inside now. He like grabs her, yanks her back in the house, and like slams the door shut. He's like moving stuff, like furniture, and she's like, whoa, what the fuck? Like, it's just, it's nothing. I could have handled it. I was like, trust me, you would not. I was wondering when it was going to come back. And she's like, come back? Like, what are you talking about? Dad, you're freaking me out. And he's like, you stay away from the windows. Don't go outside. If he doesn't see you as a threat, he's good or, like, worthy enough, he'll leave. And she goes, you know this thing, don't you? Like, you know what this thing is. You're like, you've known about the He's like, I know about this one. This thing has hunted our This thing didn't come to hunt whatever's out there in that fucking forest. It came to hunt us. it's called the Bane of the Corduroys. So Dan sits Wendy down and sits his sons down. He's like, I prayed this thing would leave us alone. Like as manly as I am, that thing terrifies me, and this thing is the curse of the Corduroy family. And so Dan explains that way back during the French and Indian War, like an ancestor of the Corduroys was serving in the British Army, and during the conflict, during the French and Indian War, during that conflict, these two predators were killing this company, and during the fight, this Corduroy ancestor shot and managed to kill, like get a lucky shot through the eye of the helmet, get it in the back of the head, and just kill this elder predator, because it was a father and son group. And while the father was killed, the son survived. So the son hunted down, and just he was wearing the blood of his ancestors, of his fallen father, hunted down that Corduroy and fucking butchered him as a sign of it. And not only that, the son proceeded to swear a blood oath to annihilate the bloodline of whoever in the Corduroy family was considered worthy enough. So every year, or every few years, he would come down and hunt down one member of the Corduroy family. So during the American Revolution, that Corduroy was hunted down. During the Civil War, another one. During the old era of the Old West, another one gone. All the way up to the Vietnam War. And that's when Wendy's like, did that thing kill Mom? Was that the reason it hunted Mom? And he's like, thankfully your mom. And he's pauses for a second. He's like, I can't lie to you. That thing killed your mother. So, because Wendy put it two and two together. It's if this thing's hunting my family, then obviously it's basically going to kill. If it's put two and two together, and she's like, it killed Mom, didn't it? And he goes, and Dan's just like, yeah, it did. It killed your mom when she had given birth to your brothers, and it was shortly after that it came down to hunt down me, and your mother got in the way with a shotgun, wounded it, but the predator killed her, took her life, and left me. And she goes, left you like a coward. And he's like, I couldn't do it. What would you want me to do? I wanted to hunt it down and kill it, but I couldn't leave you and your brothers alone, could I? So it's what your mother would have wanted. It's like, no, she would have wanted revenge. And Wendy at that point is just, and Dan at this point is like, we're not leaving this house. He will eventually leave at some point. And she's like, in the meantime, it's just going to go around butchering people. And when's it going to start butchering people? When is it going to, it's trying to go, this whole point, that's why it came here, didn't it? Because it was trying to goad you into getting into a fight with it. Now it knows I'm here. And he's like, yeah. And it now sees you as, worthy prey. So we're not going to do this. But Wendy refuses. She actually, escapes the house, grabs stuff, grabs a bunch of, survival gear, axe in hand, and she just runs out into the dark going, I'm here! Kill me! Come on! Predator's just, lights up. It's like, not yet. And just vanishes again. And she's just screaming into the dark. So she doesn't even go home. She goes back to the mystery shack, and Seuss is there. She tells him the whole thing, and he's just like, whoa. You've got a blood vendetta with an alien. And the Predator, the Predator, however, followed her, and now to get Wendy's attention again, it breaks into the mystery shack, and actually, when Seuss is up there, getting stuff because he wants to help Wendy hunt this thing down, it captures Seuss and leaves little Fez as like a little thing, like, I got him, come get him. So Wendy is forced to, like, she calls Dipper and is like, hey, so, real talk, like, there's something I gotta do. You're right, I wasn't prepared for this. Because this thing wants me. It's hunting me, so I need to go deal with this myself. But listen, if I don't, if this thing kills me because it has Seuss, I just want to know that, like, I make it, we're going on a date. So, and then she just hangs up and goes out into the forest to hunt the Predator. Who, the Predator, in a reverse, the Predator this time around, he's the one who's actually, like, set up shit. Like, he set up traps for her, kind of like how Arnold set up traps for the Predator, but here it's different. So Wendy has to, like, fight her way through all these different traps. And she's getting hurt. She falls into a pit, almost gets killed by spikes, almost has, like, all of these traps done to her, and even some of them, like, she even has to, like, while she's avoiding traps, the Predator's, like, shooting plasma bolts at, like, plasma caster at her. And at that point, that's when she almost gets killed in a trap, and that's when her father shows up, and he's like, you're right, I wasn't there for your mom, but I'm here for you, and we'll get through. Yep, Predator blades go through his chest, and Predator then proceeds to, like, rip his spine out through his back, and, like, just roars, and Wendy's just screaming no, and they just get into a fight. Like, the Predator, like, puts his severed head on his belt, and the two proceed to just fight it out. Like, the Predator just takes off his mask, and she's like, I am going to fucking make you uglier, motherfucker. So the two just get into an all-out bloody, just fight. It's a fist fight, and during all this, Wendy has to remember, this thing's got Seuss, I have to figure out where Seuss is. And she's like, it's probably on his ship. So eventually the two get into this, it's just all around the forest. And eventually both the Predator and Wendy they're beaten, they're bloody, and she's like, I've killed demons, I fought, like, fucking monsters, unicorns and shit like that. You think I couldn't kill your ass? And the Predator is just, like, laughing at this point, like, just kind of like, and she's like, why are you laughing? Laughing's not good. So she realizes that he switched the self-destruct on. She's like, shit, and grabs, like, her father's axe, and is just like, it's gonna blow up, but you ain't gonna make it to the countdown. Decapitates the Predator, and, like, then proceeds to, like, is holding the countdown, and is, like, trying to figure out how to figure out how to get rid of it. So eventually she does find the ship, which is not too far away. There is Seuss in there. She throws the self-destruct in the ship, grabs Seuss, and they run. Ship blows up, and the blood debt that the Predator had on Corduroy's family is over. And Wendy regrettably has to bury her father. And she's just like, it's just, I should have listened. I should have been there. And he's like, and Seuss is comforting her, and it's just a sad ending. So yeah, there you go. That is the Gravity Falls Predator story. What'd you guys think of it? Just comment below, let me know. Other than that, hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time, Multiverse.